Hey, it's the envoy!
Envoy, hey!
I swear, I owe you the world.
I owe her the world. She saved my life, remember?
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on their way? No.
Oh, gods. Does she mean...
They didn't make it, Offreak. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them? Or you didn't try?
What happened? That godless scum.
What?
They probably went quickly, if that helps.
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offreak, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead? At least they got justice.
And I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy. Ambassador Heelguard has written to Expedition Command back in High Crown to see if they'll let us come home.
While we wait for their reply, I thought...
Wait. Let me guess. Mermaid's Den.
You told him?
It was a moment of weakness. I thought I was dead. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us to remind us to live well.
Well, I'm sure you've got big Envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
Still can't believe you're alive.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure did it.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
Well, Kai?
Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy? Naturally, Mom. How can I help you? What would you like to know? If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries, too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior. Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both? That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it, and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day. Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here, same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time and their skates are made from real copper and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods, they like us a lot. The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Adiran banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. Of course. There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator. The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can. There is no singular authority.
Brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various towns of the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fjord Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the third-born children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pogrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pogrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pogrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. By all means. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet. Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly. I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing Death Guards. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deathfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodeka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodeka's priests, or Wodeka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodeka's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodeka does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. I'm an open book. Oh, I hope it wasn't that charlatan in Hightown. She's an absolute menace. That the militia puts up with her is a testament to how unfit they are to run this city. Right. Not what you asked. Anyway, Watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a Watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful Watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodeka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many Watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlin. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end. Of course. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. By all means. Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, Envoy.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable.
But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Captain Cynric said you have a missive for me from the Emperor. Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness, at least someone understands the gravity of our situation. With that, I had better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisian rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradis. Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradis.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Oh, before you go, we received a report from Liviana about your condition. Apparently, you're in fine shape. Once your killer has been dealt with, you can come and go as you please. Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. You'll have tales aplenty, that's for certain. And a long tapestry of battle scars. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this. Guess the deer and discipline doesn't apply to pest control.
Just like the good old days.
I don't think the new owners like
This one's mine.
The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of Makul. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know. Just watch. This'll be good.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be, hiding behind stone walls all your life?
You don't know anything about me, you Adiran Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Duktek Drago Sakasat Jitule. You wanna talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
I think this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramps should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
You know your stuff, but I doubt they do.
Envoy, you see? Will you stand by and allow this maniac to poison a fellow subject of the Emperor? Then maybe I should show you who I am. Come on, Maili. Let's show these people why you don't pick fights in the Ballarok.
Next one's mine.
Found you.
Nobody messes
Pull
with
me
our
back.
boy Colburn and survives.
When you had the chance, envoy.
Thanks, Marius. More blood to clean.
Come on, Makul. You know you love it. Well, that was fun. Well, that was something. Haven't been to bar fight in a while. Never really saw the point.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person.
We were both crossing the same patch of forest at the same time a couple years ago. There were some boars in heat I may have helped him with.
They were squirrels, and I had them well under control. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you. I've been keeping tabs on you since you got here. Godlike, looking like you do, and hauling Kai around like a sick puppy? I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them. The assassins wouldn't go near that place anytime soon. And you don't have to worry much about people cleaning up in this town. We'll figure this out, Amakul. Don't you worry.
You know what you're doing.
Well, no one's come to claim him. I suppose I should see.
There are spells. Now,
Keep your helmet. He's only been there a day.
Welcome back, Envoy. Show it here. Good. Too many good men and women died because of that bastard. May he face Magran's fires in his next life. Be safe out there, you hear?
Now, why would I want to leave a mark right by that pile of crates?
Right. Nothing like the smell of fish and burning wood in the air.
The Dream Scourge has driven people to the city. Means more bandits on the road.
If it were me, I'd take the shot from up there above the embassy. Let's see if we can get up there. With any luck, your assassin will be as bad at hiding their tracks as they were at making sure you stay dead. Over here. Here, look.
Envoy, I've got something.
Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beasts out of your garden. You already met the apothecary. I'd suggest we pay him another visit.
Seems like a good place to start.
Without a second thought. I've bought my fair share of poisons in case some nin dude out there tries to take something I need. Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We could track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
This is an outrage. There has to be a logical explanation, sir. That's the ring my father gave me. It went missing last month. Are you fencing stolen goods? Our shop would never knowingly do such a thing. My assistant and I would be happy to return it to you. All we need is a document proving you own it and it's yours. I don't... Is there anything in this town that people won't take? Buying something?
That's the apothecary.
That's all I have.
All you have is not enough. Huh. Aren't you the outlander who died in the streets? How are you... Gah, it doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today. Right?
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead woman. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away. Or what? You'll die on me?
Have to admit, that's a good one.
This is getting tiresome. I wasn't really gonna hurt the apothecary, but I'm really, really gonna hurt you. Bullshit. I don't see any him. And besides, they don't eat souls. Do they?
Stick around. Find out for yourself.
Hey, boss, maybe we shouldn't. Fighting a godlike seems wrong somehow.
I knew you'd gone soft. We'll settle this as soon as I'm done here.
Take your best shot.
Get him, boys!
can't believe they're dead. It's over.
We got them all.
Show me what you got. Take out the leader. And you killed him.
Right flank.
Left leg.
Heal yourself. Good one.
You think you could just take out our leader?
Not bad, Marius.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on these streets, and they are a symptom.
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk? Seems more like the cause to me.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You even killed Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you. They don't. That's the problem. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts. It's not easy running a business in Paradise, but it can be profitable if you invest in some protection. That gang was not my wisest investment.
This is why you always ask for references.
You would need protection if you'd stop doing things that make people want to kill you.
What'll it be today, Envoy? I know you didn't come for herbal remedies. Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Santa Torre, a berry native to the Living Lands.
Relax. We're not here for you. You couldn't have known how it would be used, right?
You better start naming names, Amakul, before my friend here starts to get vengeful.
Please, I can't be seen talking to you. You need to get out of here right now. If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the Adherents, it'd be the end of me. I hate carrying a debt. Just don't tell anyone you learned it from me. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Santa Torre is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies. I have nothing to hide. Not anymore. Just talking to you has put me at odds with Paradise. I have no wish to be at odds with Adir as well.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go past the Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra. Look, most Paradisans don't like the Adherents. We've been here for generations and we knew how to handle our own. Adir changed that, and not for the better. Some of us have been more wronged by Adir than others. Well, wronged by the Steel Garrote. They're a minority of Paradisans, but they're willing to kill to strike back at Adir, even at an Imperial envoy.
Careful where you say that. The last thing Paradise needs is Adiran panic.
I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
So we're going to the temple to find a mystic to ask about the poison. Not what I imagined my day would be like. What are you grinning? Grinning about?
Huh? I wasn't grinning.
Right. Well, stop it.
That's just how my face looks, Mark. Marius. Hey, you got something on your mind? Something you want to talk about?
See, you're doing it now.
Well, now you're being funny.
Oh, gods. I'm just making it worse. No offense, but you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy. More following from a respectful distance, I'd say. An adherent official who's new in town turns a lot of heads, especially when they're traveling with a Nim dude like Kai. Stick with Kai. You'll find out. Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. I'm here to find your assassins. Maybe help you avoid being killed again in the future? My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is. Merci, Envoy. I'll make myself at home. Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you have things to do.
Look, Marius, if you ever want to talk about anything, you know I'm here, right?
Right. Appreciate that, but I'm all right.
If you ever change your mind, the offer stands.
Okay, Amakul. I'll keep that in mind. By the way, I never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin girl?
You remember. The one in the camp in Shadow Peaks? With the thing on her head?
Oh, yeah. Nice eyes, chipped tooth. Thinking about her again, huh?
You thought we had a past or something. But I never seen her before in my life.
We could see her again if you want. I think she liked you.
Well, anyway, just wanted to clear that up. Yeah, a good talk.
Some women like the brooding, mysterious types. You just gotta work on your small talk.
You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snapflies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some Tanglewort in my pack. That should clear it right up.
Okay, if you insist.
You can thank me later. That's what I'm here for. You might want to consider not washing your clothes in safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
No, it's fine. If you feel the need to wash your clothes, go right ahead. Just use something else.
Sweat and midday breezes don't count as washing, you know.
Right, so I smell like the wilderness. You people stand out like a tree rat in heat. You've been complaining about the flies, though. They're attracted to the scent of sap flowers.
Thanks, Marius. That's helpful.
Well, don't get used to it.
Thoughts and whispers, we feel them rumble beneath the surface. We smell conflict. Kith turn on kith. We do not understand. They come on foreign ships, exiles grafted from other trees. The salt clings to their hair, the scent of distant shores to their skin. Branches unimpeded. Why? A foundling deer seeking the woods. But the ground stirs. New roots seek to grow taller than the old. They bring banners, arrows, swords. What do they seek from us? The Claviger's blood on the breeze. Wolves fighting for territory. Is the instinct to conquer innate? Ivy spreads on the stone, a nature that cannot be tamed. We learn much. Sleep now. Dream of warm tides and purple leaves.
Who's there? You're not getting away! After your escape!
Fisherman missing. Last seen near the watermill, northwest of the river.
Glad that's over.
High Market. A haven of opulence in an otherwise nice city.
Do you really think the adherents killed the Claviger?
Are you kidding? Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't do that. They know it turned the whole city against them.
But the city is already under lockdown. They could take it from the inside.
Take it? The militia would put them down in an afternoon.
Huh?
Don't sign any petitions, no matter what anyone says.
I'm telling you, that so-called Watcher is a fraud.
But she knew things about me. Things that I didn't even know.
Exactly. She made it all up.
Excuse me, are you going to see the Watcher? That's perfect. You can be an impartial mediator. My friend and I are metaphysical philosophers, and we have hit a bit of a snag.
If you want to run, now's our chance.
Don't mind me. I'll be over by that building not caring an ounce about this.
I say Watchers are a hoax, and he says Watchers are magical, all-knowing windows into the afterlife.
I think that means we're both right. It's a philosophical success.
That's not the point of philosophy, but fine. Whatever you say.
Thank you for your perspective, Envoy. We'll trouble you no more.
You ever meet people who have too much free time on their hands?
Ah, I missed it. Did we win?
God, I hope she can help. Please, hear my prayers.
They say a strong soul can withstand this dream scourge. She'll see that mine's healthy, right?
Oh, this is taking ages.
What's taking so long? Hey, wait your turn!
Watcher sees all. The Watcher knows all. Your soul, Envoy. Your very soul is in danger. The Watcher can see it. The Watcher knows. An Envoy, a godlike. Two destinies come together. How curious. The Watcher can see into your soul. The Watcher knows. There is a soul plague descending onto the city, godlike. A plague that will endanger you. But the Watcher can see that your soul may still be saved. A gracious soul you have. A wealthy soul. The Watcher does not peddle slop. The Watcher provides deliverance from this soul plague. The Watcher must eat to help godlike. The Watcher asks for little in return. Or what? You'll have me shut down? You can't prove anything. At least I'm giving people hope. Can you Adiran say the same? Get out, godlike. I have other patrons waiting for me.
Nice work with that Watcher. Can't have people going around pretending to be insane.
This isn't what the healer said it would be like.
Let's keep moving through here before one of them asks us a difficult question.
I know I feel safe with the guard presence around here. I remember the family who lived there. I really thought they'd make a go of it. There's a joke about Paradis's government in here, somewhere.
It's the envoy.
I heard something.
Oh no! Nice! Take a moment, people.
Hey? Huh? Oh, yeah. Move on through.
This is where people go to buy stuff that'll just get 'em mugged everywhere else.
Did those just blink at me?
Aemon allowed these interlopers onto our streets. And where did it get him? Slain! Murdered!
The Clavager deserve better!
The gods will make them pay!
You, Aderin! You herald the end of our way of life! You are a scourge upon our city! The citizens of Paradis have come to hear the truth. They need to know what will befall us if we do not deal with you. You represent everything they stand for. You will find no peace here.
That's Sansa's shop. Might be worth taking a look.
Welcome, welcome! I was hoping you would drop in.
Not sure why there's a plaque for that. Skeleton with 2 heads seems pretty self-explanatory.
You're back! What have you found? I warned Kirmund about those Zaribs. It was Zaribs, wasn't it? Oh, on second thought, don't tell me. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon.
the Adiran envoy. Isn't this a surprise? Not only to see you alive, but to have you grace my little workshop. Chandlers don't get many high-ranking clients. Priests and pilgrims mostly. Still, business is good. Better than good. I used to have an apprentice. When the Adirans came to our shore, he moved on without as much as a goodbye. But I hold no grudge. He had his reasons to go, just as I have my reasons to stay. You know, you're much more even-tempered than some of your countrymen. That's a compliment, dear. Some of us understand you good folk are here to help, and some of us need a little more time.
You almost sound convinced yourself.
Imagine how boring this place would be if we all agreed.
The living lands could use a little discipline, that's what I say. And who better to bring it than the Adirans? Well, there was this Aothasian priest on his way to Emerald Stair. He was rather fond of my work. And the Temple of Andra can't seem to get enough of them. Burning the wick at both ends, I suppose. Probably a good idea. No one cheats death without owing someone a favor. Go up the main road to the Street of the Gods. Eloy, the attendant, is a sweet girl, though a little anxious around newcomers. Don't keep the Lady of Lament waiting now. Unlike Aethys, patience is not one of her virtues. A lot of them came here after the purgings in the Deerwood, looking for sanctuary in all the wrong places. Even on these shores, Aethys isn't the most popular deity. Andra is closer to our hearts, always has been. With the gods on my side, I won't need to, but I appreciate the invitation all the same. If you need to keep warm at night, help yourself to some Mogren's Fury. It's growing in a pot just over there. No charge, of course. The Adiran envoy's money is no good here, and never will be.
How awful.
Not to worry, envoy. Got one of the bastards. We caught this one trying to break into the embassy. Persistent little brats, aren't they?
It's a horrible situation all around.
I don't like how cozy the Clavager's gotten with the Adirans. That High Inquisitor especially bothers me.
It's her eyes that give me the spooks. It's like they can see into my soul.
They might. Greetings, envoy.
Every sailor knows. A gift for Andra and one for Helia too.
Andra, protect my husband on his journey back to Adir.
Fresh from the finest distilleries in Thirdborn. The only potion known to protect against the plague. Do not succumb to fear, friends. Protect yourselves against this vile plague. My remedies have been tested and...
I swear, if those Wodekin extremists come sniffing around again...
This is where the wealthy go to be seen celebrating Helia.
Oh my. Merciful gods! You're the inspiration I've been looking for. Please, allow me to memorize your sacred features. Let me burn them into my unworthy eyes and dash them upon the canvas. Yes. Yes! Oh, I came on too strongly, didn't I? Oh, ruined the painting I haven't even started. Curse me for a fool. Helia blessed me with the gift of artistic expression, but that's no excuse for rudeness. Oh, please, accept my apology.
Just relax a hair. You're scaring the children.
Brood. I was going to warn you not to trip over yourself.
I can paint a grotesque beauty or a beautiful grotesquerie, and yet there is little beauty to be found in these dark times. Alas, the subject cannot pity the artist. But you give me hope that beauty can be found, and so I will seek it out again. Farewell, my friend.
Well, he seemed nice.
Parodies just wouldn't be parodies without people like him.
Maybe don't look so endearing around here. Paradise militia can be a bit oversensitive.
I hope this lockdown ends soon. I'd like to go visit my cousin's farm.
Hail.
Meh. Nice place.
Don't mind Marius. The only gardens where he comes from are full of mushrooms.
Welcome to my shop, envoy. We keep the city safe as best we can. Happy? Have I... Yeah, I've lived here my entire life. So did my parents and their parents before them. Couldn't tell you. Been so long the family's forgotten. Don't really care, honestly. Hail. Those steel garrote are going around crowing about justice, as if this is their city.
If you're looking to celebrate water, I'd suggest the bathhouse. Wouldn't think assassins would be hiding out in a temple, but what do I know?
Welcome to the temple. Hail and well met. The Temple of Andra is open to all. Oh, you must be the Adiran envoy. How wonderful to meet a godlike in our holy sanctum. I take it you're here on official business. What? Oh, you must be talking about those awful rebels. People say they're outlaws blending in with honest citizens, killers and cutpurses of the lowest sort. But why ask me about the... Wait, you're not implying that I'm involved with that lot, are you? Envoy, you're describing most of the district, plus anyone with access to a robe. This has exhausted my patience. A temple is no place for an interrogation. Not to be rude, but Adirans only care about law and discipline when they can impose it on others.
Well, at least she wasn't rude.
Why would anyone from Paradise trust the word of an Adiran, much less an envoy? That was you? Huh. All right. If you're willing to listen, then I'm willing to talk.
Finally, some progress.
Yes, I'm with the Resistance. We have a responsibility to defy your empire, to protect our way of life. For some of us, that means hiding in plain sight, passing messages between contacts, playing a role. For others, it's kill or be killed. Ask me anything you like, but be warned, you aren't ready for the answers. Eagwolf, a powerful man, but not in the way Adir understands power. When he knocks an arrow, the gods hold their breath. If you think you can reason with him, don't bother. You have nothing he wants. To be left alone. Paradise was fine without Adir. Your empire inserted itself where there was no need. You've impoverished us, turned my brothers and sisters into beggars, squatting outside our own city walls. None of them are the Emperor's plaything. You must be special, and not in a good way. I have nothing more to say to you. If you're so eager to die again, the one you want is downstairs in the cistern, no doubt sharpening his blade. Here's the key. Now that my cover is blown, I won't be needing it anymore. The door is on the wall to your left. What difference is it to you? So that's how it is. Build a reputation so you can tear the rest of us down. As soon as I've tidied up my affairs, I'll hightail it out of Paradise. You won't see me again.
Well, that's over. How about we go deal with the Nim dude who killed you?
Paradis! Do not be afraid of any plague. With what?
Lady of Lament, grant us your strength, so we may overcome adversity as the wave overcomes the shore. Welcome to the Temple of Andra. Very bold of you to take the burdens of others. I hope they serve you well. We don't have a gift bearer at this temple, but if you'd like, you can leave your burdens here.
See that worn spot? Hunters pet the wolf's head for good luck.
Galloway, I beseech you, turn your eyes to these men. Give our hunters your blessing. Protect.
Human, you've met people.
Please be respectful in the presence of the Queen.
Damn rickety table. No envoy. Go right on through.
Yeah.
Shame a perfectly good house has to sit around empty.
Oh, gods! They're looting the place.
Really? Looting the Clavage's house? And the Adherents do nothing to help.
Stop right there! Get them! Coming for the right!
Who's ready for more?
I'm starting to see why Eamon was going gray all of a sudden.
Well, looks like the old man wasn't as in love with Adir as he let on.
I knew he was crafty, but I had no idea he was working with the rebels.
Cozy. Stale air, thick darkness, and a smell that peels your eyes back. Reminds me of home.
No, I just skipped a bath. They don't look friendly.
Unseen, unheard.
Remind me not to spook you.
Someone there?
All clear.
Here we go. Settle you guys!
These people aren't trained assassins. They're just regular people with weapons.
They're trying to kill us. What else do you want to know?
Watch out. Pressure plates on the floor.
If you want help burning through that, just say the word.
That should disable the pressure plates. That should disable the pressure plates.
What's the target? What am I hitting? Coming in hot. Show me what you got! Take him down! You know what that web means. Be ready. Everyone okay? Ready, aim.
More blessed spiders. Feito meio. Right behind you. What about these spiders? Are they threatening enough for you?
The spiders are just trying to survive. Maybe these people are too.
Gods, not this saga again.
I sense a Marius lecture coming. That key opens the big double doors we saw on the way here.
Remember that time in Emerald Stair? You let that thief take all our supplies.
He was starving. I wasn't gonna kill a man over a few rations.
We needed our supplies. We almost died without them.
True.
You let your heart get in the way of your survival.
When did you become a poet?
Just blessed day now. Like it?
Still needs work.
Would you waste time building a deadly trap when a simple no entry sign would suffice?
Over there. Left. Probably disables the blade.
Good it does for me.
Nothing like a win with a good team. You take lead.
Someone there?
Didn't think that was did he? You're still mad about that thief, but we made it back to town, even without our supplies.
Not the blessed 8 point. You see a threat, you stop that threat. You don't give it your rations.
You think everyone's out to get you. This is why you don't have more friends.
Eyes open.
I heard something. The envoy's here. Don't let them escape!
To your left! Aim where? What am I hitting? Hey! Over here! Glad that's over.
So, would you have killed that thief taking our stuff?
Nimdut, someone...
Show yourself!
Come and get me.
Worse than rough!
I would have sent that thief on his way, without our blessed day supplies.
Then he would have died.
We didn't.
Kills them all. That'll show them.
Right behind you.
The envoy's here.
Get down.
You're bold.
Fine. Let's go.
Get ready. My money says our assassin's on the other side of that door.
So it is true. You're alive. You're truly alive.
Spoken like an assassin who's confident in his work.
But how could this be? I killed you. You deserve all of that. And more. Stay your weapon, please. Hear me. Let me speak for Paradise. Then you can decide if we part as friend or as foe. Envoy, I killed you because the people of Paradise have suffered under the boot of Adir. For better or worse, yes. Though that ended when he went into the wilderness with your ambassador. I didn't, though that is where your mind went, isn't it? In any case, it was not the Clavager's death that made me decide to kill you. It was because your face came to me in a dream. A vision I believed was sent from the gods. Your face was as clear in my mind as it appears to me now. You were standing under the sign of Adir. Your feet became roots and reached deep into the soil, wrapping round Ardra in the darkness. Dreams, visions, they can be confusing things. I took the vision as a call to kill you in the hopes that I might stop Adir from conquering this land. Perhaps higher education would have given me pause. Stay by hand. Perhaps not. I cannot imagine what the gods want for us, but you are at the center of it. The proof stands before me.
There's definitely something. It's written all over your face.
The only thing standing before us is a bunch of well-armed people. Let's take this slow. No sudden movements.
The gods aren't finished with you yet. You tell me, godlike. You have me cornered, but I will not hesitate to defend myself. Cowardice is not our way. My fate is in your hands. Do with it what you will.
Normally, I'd say if someone tries to kill you once, don't give them a chance to do it again. But I think he's actually come around to something. It's rare to see a real change of heart. Rarer still to have the opportunity to give someone a second chance. Don't squander it.
If you spare him, he'll just kill you again. I doubt you'll get a second chance. Not a huge fan of cold-blooded murder. We survive by removing threats, and this guy is a threat.
If you're guided by the hearts of your companions, then they too serve the gods. Your Inquisitor Lodween doesn't know the meaning of mercy. But if that is the fate you want for me, then it is the will of the gods that I stand trial for my crimes. That is very kind of you, Envoy. You speak with the authority of gods, but I worry that few will hear it.
If you give him to the Steel Garrote, you might as well kill him now. They'll torture him before they execute him.
I will settle the last of my affairs and confess to the guards. With any luck, I'll live to see another sunrise. Blood will be spilled, in time. That cannot be avoided for long. Farewell, godlike.
A hush, an ill wind, steel justice, shackles like our own. We learn, we twine.
That's sad. The Inquisitor's gonna have fun with him.
You should have just killed him. He's as good as dead anyway.
Don't bother going back the way you came. Just lead others to the right of the suppose the gods were on your side, not ours.
What happens now?
Nothing happens. It's over.
What? We've come so far. Don't just surrender.
Kid, you're not hearing me. We're not fighters anymore. We're casualties.
I don't think I expected they would just turn themselves in.
Good news is the Steel Garrote will probably take care of killing them for us.
But dealing with the assassins should put us on Ludwig's good side, so there's that.
Great. Not sure which side I want to be on. I have some thoughts. Let's talk about it in camp.
You feeling okay? Seems like you were... we're having a strange dream. Dream the other night. A cup of tea might help you sleep, unless you need a nip of something stronger. Not everyone warrants an assassination attempt, you know. You should be flattered. Not at all. He was even more in awe of you when we found him in the cistern. Though I suspect Ludwig and the Steel Garrote will take that shine right off him. It's too bad. They'll quickly undo the progress you were making with him. Your people have been trying to bring justice to the frontier since the first Adiran bureaucrat made landfall. To Ambassador Hilgard's credit, this is about the tamest Paradis has ever been. In days past, your murder would have barely made the town crier's announcements. Now, open bloodshed is relatively rare, in most corners of the city anyway. To some, others, like Eagwolf, see the firm hand of authority closing around their necks. And Ludwig and the Steel Garrote are only making matters worse. Just that they're chafing at seeing a foreign empire bring foreign troops and foreign restrictions. Same as rebels everywhere, really. Your ambassador and the rest of the Adiran forces have been dragging the frontier, kicking and screaming towards order and civilization. All the things that half of us moved here to escape. Then, one day, Ludwig and the Steel Garrote show up to reinforce the Adiran presence, and they're as harsh as Woedica herself. Could be both. It remains to be seen whether Ambassador Hilgard and Ludwig are rowing in the same direction. But I fear there's trouble on the horizon, especially if the Steel Garrote's tactics win out. Nice to know I'm in good company. Except it's more than your head on the chopping block. I promised someone I'd do my part to look after all of us riffraff who've made a home here. My best chance of doing that is helping you investigate this plague and keep a lid on tensions. And, hopefully, fend off any future assassination attempts. The feeling's mutual. It's nice to share a campfire again. I think that's enough doom and gloom for one night, don't you? Sleep easy, Envoy. As best you can. Rebellion's more like our natural state of being in the living lands. People on the island don't much like being told what to do. In fact, many come here specifically for that reason. Paradis used to be a lot more violent. Now, bandits like the Sparrowhawks at least have to limit their activities. Of course, that change has come thanks to Ambassador Hilgard's Adiran troops. And the Steel Garrote. Ludwig and her paladins have been busy in the hinterlands. It's all rumor and speculation, but I don't think they're making your cause any friends. I don't like to gossip.
Since when?
Okay, I like fun gossip. They say she's hunting down so-called agitators, flattening entire settlements that stand in her way. Of course, all the news reaching Paradise is jumbled together. Stories about the Dream Scourge, the Steel Garrote, and the weird happenings that are almost commonplace around here. So it's hard to say what's true. If they're here under your banner, people will see their actions as representing you. I think you're right. I don't know that these rebels are all that organized yet. But where there's foam, there's rocks, as the saying goes. I'll be here if you need me.
It's not every day you get to deal with the person who killed you. And now they're in the dungeons, where they can plot their revenge in silence. They're Paradise's problem now, which makes them Adio's problem, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. You found the assassin, and you're still alive, which means well done, Marius. Anyway. Companions? It's just Kai, isn't it? As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but... Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that I'll cut a hole in your water skins. Right. What do you want to know? Heard an envoy from Adir showed up and got herself killed. Other than that, nothing. Honestly, I don't listen out for gossip much. I don't know what to tell you. Lovely place, as the Living Lands goes. I advise most people to stay around here if they're looking to settle. Paradise isn't the safest place in the world, but it is the safest place in the lands. Walls and guards go a long way out here. Other than that, you've got bits of forest, grasslands, some caves, cliffs, and all sorts of things to get you into trouble. This is the easiest place to survive in the Living Lands. Enjoy it while it lasts. Word is the hunting in the Strangleroot has been a lot better since someone cleared out the diseased bear that lived out there. I never hunt out there, but a lot of people owe someone a word of thanks and a half a jug of Wodak. If we haven't heard by now, we probably won't. A good hunter does the job and doesn't ask for credit. At least the people who hunt out there aren't going to get killed by a plague-ridden bear. That's something. Let's see. Normally you look for some shelter first. Cut down a few small trees, gather moss to keep the wind out. Nothing too elaborate. With so little tree cover, you want to keep moving. The reeds near the coast make great fibers for rope, so you can lash branches together and make a decent roof. Of course, we're always moving, so we just make a quick camp and carry on. So you don't have to worry about all that. Trees, enjoy it. I've been traveling... Right. Good talk.
Haze, mirrors, we have touched something like your dreams before. Our roots entwine, but we cannot linger here long. We must know.